on-air talent or influencer? Visit beonair.com and discover a media school that's changing the game. We have 7 campuses across the country, and you can graduate in as little as 8 months. No math or English classes here, just classes that interest you and give you hands-on experience with real-world professionals in the media industry. And there's financial aid available for those who qualify. Stop sleepwalking through life. Show up for your dreams. Visit beonair.com and take the free career assessment. beonair.com.
Welcome in, folks. High school football again here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. The matchup, second round playoff action here on CVC TV. Division 6 Region 21. The home undefeated Kirtland Hornets taking on the visiting Smithville Smithies right here on your screen. Kyle Cordell, AA Anthony Alford with you on the call. As always, AA back here in beautiful Kirtland at Wilson Stadium for a matchup between two teams that are setting records tonight because it's the first time ever they'll play in the postseason.
Yeah, this is going to be the very first time ever, and this is going to be something. It's going to be definitely something to make this happen. We'll see how it all turns out.
Talk about the year Kirtland's had. 11-0 this season, 5-0 in the CVC Valley Division, of course, Valley Division champions. Bunch of injuries this year, too, including the starting quarterback, Jake Laverde, went down a little past halfway point of the season with a broken wrist, but the backup, senior Max Paul, has been able to take the reins and lead this team to that undefeated record. And the matchup, of course, with the Smithville Smithies. They come from the Wayne County Conference. They're 8-3 on the season, 4-3 in that conference. A tough conference. Teams like Norwayne, Dalton, a team that obviously Kirtland's very familiar with.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, they have the experience against some of these state-level contender teams, AA, so this should be a pretty good game tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a big-time game, and both teams come from tough conferences, of course. You know, we're talking about Smithville, of course, out of the Wayne County Athletic Conference. You know, Coach Olson, class of 2003, talked about, how long these teams have been together in the conference all the way back, 50, 60 years, it seems like they all been together. But it's gonna be a big time matchup. And here's the cool thing. Kirtland has had experience facing teams from this conference already. They faced Dalton back in week number 1, one of 2 state champion representatives. It's going to be a test. It's going to be a big test when you're facing the mirror version of yourself.
And both coaches talked about that kind of extensively, too. I mean, how the fact that they play so similar. Both want to run the football. That's one of the biggest things you're going to see tonight on one side. Of course, whether it's going to be Again, number 37, Danny Alfieri for Kirtland. On the other side, it's going to be Mason Haynes, number 44. Two numbers to keep an eye on tonight. They're going to get a lot of work.
Both are beasts, right? Right, absolutely. And the thing with Haynes, if you're tuning in for the first time to watch Smithville, he's already eclipsed 1,000 yards, which, by the way, he missed 2.5 games. He missed 2.5 games, and in the last game of the regular season, he hit the 1,000-yard mark. He's about near 1,200. As Coach Olsen, he talked to you before the game the other day, and we're going to see he's going to be asked a ton to carry the load, and it's somebody that Coach Laverde has a strong eye on here tonight. He mentioned as far as film, got to keep that eye on number 44, and Mason Haynes is that dude for the Smithies.
I mean, the list goes down, but obviously we saw an interesting take, too. Remember, they've dealt with some injuries, too, this year, have the Smithies at this point, but number 12, their starting quarterback, Trey Durston, actually has a club on his left hand. He's known to run the option. He can carry the football. Playing through the injury, we were curious when we heard about Jake Laverde, too. Hey, was there a possibility maybe he would try to play through, because we know how tough he is. We've seen him do so much over these first 3 years of his high school athletic career. But they're actually doing this down at Smithville with their quarterback, and he's been able to kind of seamlessly keep this offense moving while still getting the ball, obviously, to Mason Haynes, but keeping it himself and making some plays, too.
Yeah, and that's something that he's going to have to do. He's going to have to pretty much operate and make things happen on that front. But you're talking about a senior quarterback, 6'2", 185 pounds. Looks bigger than that, by the way, when you see him on the field, to be perfectly honest. But that's what he's listed as such. Kirtland are going to have to maintain him and maintain that backfield. And it's going to be interesting because this is a Smithies team that loves to run the football, but the difference, they like to run out of shotgun.
Yeah.
They like the play action. They want the option play. They want to limit the amount of defenders that's in the box. Then that's going to be something you're going to see here. The opposite, of course, is with the Hornets, where you want an expert look at how to run the wing T. That's it right there, what you're going to see tonight.
Yeah, definitely under center more of the Hornets, whereas you mentioned, kind of throws you off a little bit with Smithville because they're in the shotgun so much. They kind of run almost the entire offense out of that gun position, even the pistol too. So we'll see how they work with all of that tonight. Be remiss if we didn't bring up the 4 other teams that are in CVC action tonight as well. Remember, 14 teams made the playoffs this year for the Chagrin Valley Conference. 5 are still standing. Of course, tonight we are here at Kirtland for this matchup with Smithville. Elsewhere, Perry hosting Struthers tonight. That's going to be a fun matchup. Of course, Division 4, Region 13. Geneva taking on Aurora. That is a huge game in Division 3, Region 9. Berkshire, we were there last week. You saw them get the big win. They are taking on Akron Manchester, the 2 seed in Division 5, Region 17. That's a tough matchup and draw for the Badgers. And the last team still standing, Cuyahoga Heights, their reward, Western Reserve, Division 7, Region 25, the number 1 seed in that division and region. I mean, that is a tough draw for the, again, Red Wolves out there, wishing the best for Coach Al Martin and company as they continue to try and keep their playoff hopes alive.
And, of course, ChagrinValleyConference.com. You're going to have all the updates and whatnot throughout the night, of course, even on Twitter, at Chagrin Valley Conference on Twitter. So definitely check that out. Good luck to all of the CVC teams still competing in the playoffs. It's hard to get here. And that's the thing, too. Like, Coach Laverde, he talked about how here in this town, this is the second season. These playoffs is the second season. So it's almost, if you go all the way to the state championship, that's 6 weeks of football that you got to contend for. But it's so hard to go week in and week out. But this is that test. You're going to have a hungry team that's come an hour away, all the way up Interstate 71, 271, and get off here at 306, and they're ready to go.
It's going to be an exciting matchup tonight as we inch closer to it. Now, Smithville did win the toss. They chose to receive the first half kickoff.
Good call. Good call.
Trying to keep the ball out of the hands of that Kirtland offense, who averages nearly, or actually over, I should say, 50 points per game this season.
And I love the honesty from Coach Olsen, the head coach of Smithville. He's like, look, we know who Kirtland is. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what to expect. Everyone knows the legacy of Kirtland. You know, of course, all the state championship games and appearances and wins. So you know the name. You got to come out strong. You've got to come out strong. You got to come out with confidence. We sense the confidence from this football team. before, during the pregame. But getting the ball and starting with the football, that's huge.
It's going to be an exciting matchup tonight, of course, as the Hornets get set to enter the field here.
This sign here, right here in front of us at the 50 is huge.
That is not even a sign. That's a sheet. Possibly a tarp. I hope they ripped part of it.
It has a lot of words. It's facing, of course, the home crowd. So this is a little different for us, too. Usually, we're facing the visitor side, but we're facing the home side today.
And there go the Hornets. They have arrived on the field as we're just moments away from high school football playoff action right here on CVC TV. A brisk 51 degrees here just before kickoff with some winds swirling their way through Wilson Stadium tonight. And what should be a fantastic playoff matchup between two teams looking to further advance to Division 6, Region 21, and try to stamp their place in Columbus. I should say Columbus and Canton, rather.
And again, this is still a fresh stadium, only a couple of years old, 3 years old, a fresh stadium. If Coach Laverty had it his way, this would be a grass field.
And the Smithville Smithies now taking the field as well. Crowd traveling well from Wayne County.
Again, an hour trip, and hardly any empty seats on this side.
Playoff football, AA. They're making the trip for this one. Two really good teams going to be on the field here in just moments. And what should be an exciting matchup.
It's going to be interesting, Kyle. Again, I love that Smithville decided, when they won the toss, we want the football. We want to establish the tone. We want to set the pace of this game. And it's going to be important for the Hornets here early on to lock things down. Contain 44. That's who you're going after. You're going after the 1,000-yard rusher and Mason Haynes. Contain him. That's what you want to do if you're the Hornets. But if Smithville coming out with the football, starting with it, it's a good deal for them.
Poor Noah Runyon kicks his ball off. I want to remind you the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties: dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the website, ohsurgery.com. Play blown dead on the kickoff is, I think we got a little bit too far ahead. Offside is going to be called by the Hornets, so that ball is going to move back, I believe, 5 yards. They'll have to redo it.
I wanted to lie to you and said the officials waited until you finished the read. That did once happen in a professional football game. Super Bowl I, NBC came back late from a commercial, and they had to re-kick coming out of the halftime of the Super Bowl run.
Also, it's Isaiah Lee and Ben Bickler back for the Smithies to return the kick from Noah Runyon, who will take two on his attempt to boot the ball away to kick this game off. High arcing kick going to be taken back by Lee. Lee working at the middle of the field, finding a lane, cutting through and getting down inside the 35 to the 38-yard line, and that's where the Smithies will take over on their first possession.
It's going to be huge, going to be big time here to get that great start if you're Smithville coming out. And you're going to see, they can adjust to, different offenses, of course, but you're going to see receivers spread out wide here a little bit and an extra lineman up front.
So again, going to be in that shotgun. It's a direct snap to Haynes. He works right side, trying to bounce off a tackler. Still turning upfield. Haynes still running. Haynes gets out of bounds, past the first down marker.
We cannot stress enough how important containment is in any football game, especially in the playoffs. Kirtland is huge as far as stacking the box. So what does Haynes do? He bounces outside. He uses those outside blockers, gets out there, gets big yardage for the first down.
And Trey Durston actually on the sideline right now, the starting quarterback. Again, number 12 is not in the game, so look for some direct snaps for Haynes to work his magic running the football. He'll take the ball 5 yards, 6 yards back to try to get some sort of idea where to go. And there he is. Haynes again, up the middle. Lowers his shoulder, gets past the 45, down to the near 43-yard line.
And they're using two extra backs in the backfield as well. Two up backs and their wing backs getting in there, gets a couple extra blockers. And Haynes, what he's doing, lowering his shoulder and creating the contact on his own. Kirtland's, they're adjusting right now. They're seeing how they're coming out. and they're making adjustments as we speak.
All right, so it's going to be second down and about 4. Smithies are ready on Kirtland's side of the field. The direct snap to Haynes. He works right side, lowers the shoulder, tries to push through, and he'll get a few. It's going to set up a 3rd and short.
Mason Haynes.
And an opportunity for the Hornets after 2 big gains there. An opportunity to clamp down and get this stop.
And Becker with the stop. 3rd and about 2. Ball already on the Kirtland 39-yard line. And again, going to Haynes in that shotgun. Going to run right side, lower his shoulder, try to cut through. He's going to get caught. And there's going to be next to no gain, some extracurricular activity going on too as both teams get a little physical. And that's going to bring up 4th down, so an early test for the Smithies.
Physical is the key word of this game. Both teams very physical up front. I was curious, like maybe if Haynes would have bounced out a little bit, but you had success going between the tackles. But again, so far in this game, operating without a quarterback.
Well, now we're about to see one. It's Brock Cannon. What a name that is. Checks into the game. He's going to take the snap with Haynes behind him. Turns, hands, Haynes, right side, lowers his shoulder. He's near the 1st down, and he should have it. Mason Haynes with a huge carry. He needed 3. He got 4, and he moves the chains.
An aggressive run coming out of that backfield, just shooting out of there. You know, more and more teams, obviously confident as far as going for it on 4th down. You're seeing more teams run the ball on 4th and short. Not just like 4th and inches, but like 4th and 2, 4th and 3. You're seeing more teams do that with confidence, and they have the offensive line to do it.
And again, Brock Cannon into the game, the junior, number 7, taking the snaps now. Turns, hands off. Haynes, middle, lowers the shoulder, dives forward, and gets a few yards on the play.
Mason Haynes.
And again, to this point, this Kirtland offense, or defense rather, trying to stuff that box inside. You do run the risk of what happened on the first play of this drive, getting this thing bounced out. But we are interested to see kind of the quarterback situation, too, for Smithville.
No, I guess Cannon's going to kind of take the snaps here, at least for now. We still see Durston on the sideline. Brock Cannon again in that pistol. Take the snap, Haynes, middle, trying to work through again. Kirtland this time snuffs it out. Hornets get there for a stop. It's the first time maybe Haynes went a little backwards, and he did. So he's going to lose the 2 yards he gained on 1st down, so it's going to be 3rd and long.
And against this Kirtland defense, and we saw it against Perry, you will not have much success if you try to cut back, if you're running the football. And the same thing happened in the Perry game when we had him back in September. You got to go in aggressively, which Haynes has been doing just that go-around. You try to cut back, got the stop.
8.5 minutes to go in this 1st quarter. Smithville's been able to dominate possession to this point, running that football. Cannon going to drop back the pass, looking, rolling to his right, throw short, and I believe that was caught. Great catch there. That was Anderson who made the play, and that's going to set up, I believe, 4th and about 4. So good chunk of yards in the first pass attempt of the game for the Smithies, but now another 4th down conversion attempt.
Another one. I did like the throw and decision. Of course, Brock Cannon, the junior quarterback, 6 foot even, 160 pounds. And he's getting the call. Of course, this is after Smithville opened up with direct snaps to Haynes.
Trying to get less predictable now. Cannon again in that pistol. Got 2 running backs on his left and right hip. Getting go with the pass again. Gonna throw short. It is. I think it's incomplete. Yeah, Anderson tried to make the play on that right sideline. Great job by Alfieri, who actually knocked that ball away. Got a hand in, incomplete, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. So momentum. It took off some time on the clock. We're down to 7:31 in this 1st quarter, but they can't get any points. And now the Kirtland offense on the field.
Yeah, it was a good start there for Smithville, but yeah, you're right. Alfieri just getting in there defensively, making the stop. And here is this Kirtland offense. Got to keep a close eye who has the ball.
It's going to be Lessick who takes the end around. Lessick works his way through, cuts back left side. Lessick still on his feet, still trying to get through and down to the 45-yard line. Jack Lessick.
Brought down by Brock Cannon.
unless it gets fired up.
Wow.
He is fired up, locked in.
Kirtland Hornets at the Smithies.
He was shot out of a Brock cannon there for a second when he was running that football. Lessig able to turn that corner and knife through that Smithies defense. Huge first down on the first carry. Paul again under center. Gonna hand off Alfieri left side. Alfieri trying to break through. Smithville this time gets their balls on the floor. Did they get it? They did! Smithville recovers the fumble. That is a huge turnover for a team that does not make mistakes. Kirtland puts it on the ground on their second offensive play.
That is a stunner right there. And that ball just went straight to the ground.
Wow.
It just went straight there. It was off tackle as well. And you wonder who got in there and got the strip. This defense, that's what they're going for.
That was a gang tackle double.
Yeah.
Just stop him. Make sure you can hold on to the foot. The old adage when you played back in middle school. Make sure you just hold the guy so he can't go anywhere and let your teammates come bail you out. And Smithville gets the ball right back. Handoff, Haynes, middle, working. Bounces back to the right side. Haynes has a turn and gets past the first down. I should say actually right near it. He got about 9.5 yards.
Man.
Haynes just kept going. He met the pile, bounced it back to the outside on the far sideline. Double A was able to turn a gain of maybe 1 to 2 into a gain of 9.
When you don't hear the whistle, you try to find that opening, and they have had success outside of the tackles. It's only the second play that Haynes has bounced it out, but both times have led to huge gains.
Great run by Haynes. Double A mentioned 1,000-yard rusher. Quick little screen pass to him. Haynes cuts back using that speed, lowers the shoulder, and gets back to around the original line of scrimmage. He may have got a half a yard there. Going to set up 3rd and short.
Yeah, a lot of great fast defense. Coach Olsen for Smithville talked about the speed and the athleticism of this Kirtland Hornets defense. So even if you run a play like that, you got to be able to turn upfield quickly. You saw the linebackers really draw in and make the play. Craziness.
Got to think if you're Smithville right now, you're happy you've been able to hold the ball for the majority of this first quarter, but still tough sledding for the offense. When they get past midfield, we haven't seen as much success. Can they change that now on this drive after turning the ball over on downs last possession? Haynes direct snap, working middle, finds a hole, and he's going to have the first down.
They said they only needed a yard, so why not give it to your best player? Go behind your offensive line and just get that yard. But we have a development now.
This is not good. Haynes slow to get up, holding that left ankle, and that's one of the biggest concerns, Double A, when you hand the ball off as much to one person. A lot of touches, a lot of work, get hit a lot. Hoping for the best for Mason Haynes here for the Smithies. So if you got a tree emergency or need expert tree care, call Taz Tree Service. Phone number 440-567-0962. With over 25 years of experience, they specialize in tree removal, trimming, stump grinding, and more. Their fully insured team offers swift responses and affordable pricing, ensuring peace of mind and top-notch service. Visit Chagrin Falls TreeRemovalServices.com to book your appointment today. That's Taz Tree Service. Dependable, professional, and ready to meet all your tree care needs. Also, if you're dealing with a sewer or drain emergency, don't wait. Call Sewer Cleaning Company at 440-290-6055 for 24/7 service. With over 500 5-star reviews, they provide expert sewer and drain cleaning, camera inspection, storm drain repair, and more. And trust their honest and transparent services to get your home back in order. Visit sewercleaningcompany.com for more details and to schedule your appointment today. That's sewercleaningcompany.com, your local sewer and drain experts. First-team customers receive a free video drain inspection.
So Haynes had to be helped off the field here. So you're down your starting quarterback and starting tailback right now.
This is obviously going to be another hurdle to try and climb for the Smithies. Going to hand off right side. It's the backup tailback who gets maybe a yard, if that, on the play. It's Ashton Raber who gets the nod now as Haynes tries to stretch things out on the sideline.
Now, Raber, he's had some experience this year, of course, senior tailback. Now, Haynes missed 2 games throughout the year. Still got 1,000 yards, even though he missed 2 games. But injuries lead to, and it's on both teams, leads to other guys stepping up and being able to step in situations like this.
Now does the game plan change a little bit as Cannon again going to look to pass. Rolling, he's under pressure, throws. And that ball was incomplete, I believe. Try to dump that one off short.
Pass intended for Isaiah Lee.
Lee was the intended receiver in the flat. Look at this replay double A. It just rolled out and great pressure. It actually went off the back of the helmet of one of the Kirtland defenders
Third
there.
down for the Smithies.
Again, that was Xander Perko who was back there, and great pressure job right there from Kirtland too. From John Silvestro brings up a 3rd and long.
And Silvestro, he's made a couple big plays defensively already. Even though he may not be credited with the tackle, he's been in a position to help his defense.
3rd and long for the Smithies. Cannon looking to pass, rolling right side, short. It is going to be caught, but that's going to be for a gain of maybe 2 to 3 yards. So it's going to be 4th down and
Complete.
a long conversion attempt on the way, or do you try and punt this one and play field position?
Alfieri in the coverage.
We'll see, and maybe that's what you may have to do is play that field position game. You want that high percentage pass play, but this might be the smart call. Send the punt unit out. Let your defense play that field position.
That's what they're going to do is the punting unit will come out and boot this one away.
Again, offensively, Kirtland's only ran 2 plays. Offensively.
And crazy to think about is that one's kicked off by Leach. He punts it back to Lessick, who's let the ball bounce. It's trailing down inside the 5, and it will roll into the end zone. Lessick calls for the fair catch and lets it go in, and
Leach, punt.
it'll be taken at the 20-yard line for the Hornets.
The end zone will be first
2 plays, double A, one solid run from Jack Lessick, the other a fumble by Danny Alfieri.
And the first play, it was a big run that was one broken tackle away from scoring. And then put the ball on the turf on the very next play. So already a lot of twists and turns early on here in this football game.
That's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line for the Hornets, who are getting a message of encouragement from Coach Tiger Laverty. 7-time state champions, the Kirtland Hornets, including the defending state champion now in Division 6. Tie game, 4:34 to go in this first quarter. And the play called dead as Paul looked like he was going to throw that football. And they're going to call a false start on the Hornets. So offensively, not exactly the best start for Kirtland. We've seen this a few times this year in some of those box scores, the stat sheets, when you look through. Some slow starts for the Hornets. Now, they always seem to find a way to turn it on. But right now, not great in this first quarter on offense so far.
Yeah, you trust their abilities to forecast and figure out their opponent. Their coaching staff is one of the best in the state.
You could say
out
country. I mean, at this point,
their opponents.
they've won that much. It's a pitch to the outside, trying to get some yards through, and eventually brought down.
John Silvestro
On the carry was Silvestro. So how often are we going to see Alfieri now after that first drive fumble? You'd imagine they won't go away from him for too long.
Oh, no. He's getting the ball right back very soon.
You believe it as they run some hurry up here. Another pitch to Silvestro. He cuts back through the middle, trying to work his way through and gets brought down. There on the tackle. That was big number 70. Caden Clark, the junior. And again, Kirtland playing with some tempo.
This is what they do, is up-tempo. You need to be ready to go if you're the defense.
3rd and long for the Hornets. Another pitch. Silvestro spinning through and goes down. Solid tackle there.
Silvestro with the first down run for the Hornets.
Just nowhere where to go as Isaiah Beery was in the right place for the Smithies, and that's going to bring up a timeout. I think actually going to be called here too.
I think we had a quick injury break.
I'm trying to see where on the field, but again, that's part of playoff football. You play this long in the season double A, and you mentioned certain players getting a bunch of work carrying the football when you're running it. I mean, this can pop up where you see some of these injuries pop through.
Well, you think about the physicality. You know, when you are running the ball seemingly every play, right? Like Max Paul, for example, I believe only has 9 pass attempts since he's taken over for Jake Laverty. And it's been a few weeks now that he has played.
No, week 6 is when Jake got hurt. Yeah, it's been some time. And pardon my binoculars, it's a first down for the Hornets here. And Silvestro's been able to find some holes. It's a fumble, a ball on the floor again, still getting bobbled around. And I think Kirtland was able to pick it up, and they did this time. Oh, my goodness. It was eventually tracked down by Nico Samick, but I'll tell you what, that was close.
Oh, my goodness. I mean,
Every time it seems like they have some momentum starting to build back up here in this first quarter, Kirtland's been
The second
Well,
having a few issues keeping it.
well, I will tell you, even though it's, 51 degrees right now, it's a bit cooler than the temperature would make you believe. The footballs are a little bit colder than you think. It's a sharp wind.
Paul again under center. Gonna keep it and throw. Looking, receiver, it is dropped. Did he catch the interception? I don't know if he did. I think it went to the floor there, incomplete. I'll tell you what, look over there on that far side. And the defender's gonna be kicking himself on that. Brock Cannon almost had that
Yeah,
one.
let's look at it. So, man, you talk about the ball just taking that lucky bounce. And yeah, Cannon.
It slipped right through his hands. Obviously went through number 7 and number 7 on that play for both sides. As Samick and Cannon, neither one could corral it. So now here we are with 3rd and long.
Now, usually, too, Brock Cannon would have fresh legs. He is the starting cornerback, but right now he's playing quarterback, too.
So the handoff left side, working his way through, spun down on a solid carry, but going to set up a 4th down as Lessick was able to turn on the Jets a little bit and get some of those yards back. But now some decision time for Coach Liberty.
I think this will be a quick decision as they go back up to the line.
They get up there right away. Paul under center. Samick in motion.
And again, if you're the defensive line, you got to watch the hard count. Listen, pay attention to it.
And 4th and 5, and they're going to take a timeout, I believe, AA, which trying to see if he can get the Smithies to jump off, get those 5 yards, but instead now the punt unit's going to head out to the field.
And we talk about two teams who have played in very, very, very tough conferences. You know, like we all know about the CVC Chagrin Valley Conference and the loaded teams. The Wayne County Athletic Conference, this is a conference that is right up there with the MAC as far as top small school conferences along with the CVC.
So Alfieri going to kick this ball away. He boots it high, very, very high punt. It's going to drop down at about the 40 and take a bounce for the Smithies. And it will be down how about the 44-yard line right there. Great job by Carter Luzar to smack that ball down before it came too far back towards midfield. And the Smithies again, this time defense showing up when it mattered most. They're going to have the ball on their own 44-yard line. They've been able to start, obviously, opening kickoff, then the recovered fumble, and now this punt in really good field position, AA, but they haven't been able to capitalize yet.
Mason Haynes is back in the ball game now. Remember, he was injured in the last possession. That's huge.
That is a huge ordeal right now as he will take the handoff. No, it's going to be a keeper from Cannon. He works middle, and Cannon able to get a few yards. So they don't want to get Haynes too early there. Give him a chance to run at least one option play.
But you notice, Kyle, just having him out there.
Yep.
Just having him there, Kirtland defensively has to respect his presence there. Now, will Haynes be able to go in between the tackles? Will he be able to bounce outside like he has success with in the opening drive?
Something that Coach already talked about with the Smithville team toughness. 2nd down. Going to be a quick pass. Cannon throws middle. It's caught. Up the middle, past the 45-yard line, down to the 43. Great catch from Jace Leach. And plays some tight end, plays obviously some defense, handles the punts, and gets the 1st down on the reception.
Yeah, Leach did a great job. All hands snagging that football in. That was a great job, too, by Cannon, just placing the ball where he knew his receivers were going to be. Leach able to make the catch and the 1st down.
Yeah, both these teams can throw the football. They just prefer to establish the run, but we've seen both throughout the season, looking through the different video highlights, able to make plays through the air, too. This time, Cannon going to keep it right side. Brock Cannon turns the corner and gets down near the 35-yard line. Cannon with a great fake on the option play, kept that in the belly of Haynes to the last second and was able to turn upfield.
Boy, that's smart. I'll tell you. I mean, again, we talked about how much you got to respect Haynes, number 44, but we're seeing the athleticism of Cannon, who's in there, and it's crazy just to see how it's all playing out here offensively.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd down and about 2 yards on the Kirtland 35-yard line as we have 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. Scoreless here in round 2 of the high school football playoffs. Handoff, Haynes, left side, he cuts through, gets spun down, past the 1st down marker, he'll move the chains.
This is why it was important for Smithville to take the opening possession. They won the coin toss, take the football, and now all of a sudden here, you take everybody in. You don't have to run another play before the end of the quarter. And this crowd, who came out an hour out, is locked in, and they believe now in this playoff game.
0-0 is how we end the first quarter as Smithville and Kirtland are deadlocked here in the high school football playoffs in Northeast Ohio. Again, Region 21 in Division 6. Of course, the presenting sponsor for us here on CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Dr. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That's at www.ohsurgery.com. I'd say an eventful first quarter AA, even though the score reads 0-0, but really it's been dominated by the Smithies.
It's the first time since week 3 against Perry, Kirtland has not scored in the first quarter. And you're talking about, maybe perhaps a slow start. We barely have seen the Hornets on offense. I mean, they had one sustained drive a little bit, but the pace of this game has all been on Smithville.
They've been able to control that possession. They forced a fumble. Not can the offense get the job done. Cannon again in that shotgun. Takes the snap, hands off. Haynes, he gets met immediately in the backfield. Huge tackle right there. Number 34, Casey Karkuff, makes the stop.
And they needed anybody, Kirtland, to make a stop in the backfield defensively, to step in there, and that was huge.
The leading receiver for the Hornets this year, but able to make a big stop there from his linebacker position. Going to bring up 2nd and long.
And now you make Smithville kind of think a little bit. Beforehand, there was on the run here. That big stop in the backfield, you make them kind of think a little bit here.
Yeah, bend, no break. That's the defense right now for Kirtland. Looking to pass. Cannon rolling out to his right side, taking a shot down the right sideline. It's thrown up, and it is intercepted. And it's going to be Kirtland football.
Wow. What a catch.
Unbelievable. Samick pulls it down. 7 took a shot, 7 got the pick for the Hornets. Their 20th interception as a team this season.
And you was wondering if he was going to stay at bounds, get the feet down.
There's a jump ball on that right sideline AA. Taking a shot, why not? At this point, just trying to get some points on the board. Cannon had enough on that football. Just a tough situation for the receiver on that bottom part of your screen to make that play.
And this is how quickly the Hornets, they're so good at this. All down, all this time. 2 plays, they get the stop and then the interception defensively.
Paul again under center, going to turn. Going to roll out. And Alfieri gets that carry on the delayed handoff and gets about roughly 4 yards.
Well, to this point, the defensive strategy for Smithville has been, we're not letting 37 beat us. And that's been, now, can they sustain that throughout this game? We will see. We will find out. But that's the strategy here early on.
2nd and about. A long 5 for Kirtland. Handoff through the middle. Breaking through. Pushing forward is Lessick. He gets down. And that should be near, if not past, the first down, and it is. So Lessick moves the chains.
So what Smithville wanted to do, when we talk about containment, we talk about how important it is. They force Lessick inside, but then you got to have linebackers ready to go.
Speaking of ready to go, here comes Kirtland. Handoff, left side, still working through. Alfieri just lowering that shoulder using that size. Talk about, again, 6 feet, 205 pounds at running back. One of the bigger ones you're going to see.
Alfieri, think about, you just saw it there, 3-4 guys on his tail.
It's kept going. Both these running backs able to kind of bounce off things and make plays. And Alfieri, a long line of them out here at Kirtland, continuing that legacy. 2nd down. Turn. It's a delayed pitch out to Lessick. He works the left side, still coming through. Lessick eventually gets brought down.
That was great execution there by Max Paul a little bit there with the operation of the option.
Yeah, a little bit delayed, obviously rolling out, trying to use those feet. You won't see Max Paul carry it too much either, but he still finds the right person to give it to, whether it's a pitch out or a delayed handoff.
And what you want in that situation, all you're doing is reading the defensive end. You're trying to see what he does, and then you make your determination.
Paul turns, hands off Alfieri, breaks through right side, still going, on his feet still, and eventually goes down at the 35-yard line. So that's going to be a first down. Alfieri put that hand on the ground and kept his feet up for about another 2 or 3 yards.
For everyone watching, when this is on replay, go back and watch and look at it. He's like, wait a minute, I'm not down. He's trying to get back up.
Just keeping it up there as Alfieri gets the carry again right side. This time the defensive line holds true for the Smithies. Minimal gain.
So we talked about how well Smithville played in that first quarter. They had all the momentum in the world. And it didn't take too long for Kirtland to really, really figure things out. And this is what they do.
An injured player on the field gives us a chance to take a brief timeout and tell you can transform your property with a fence from R&T Fence Company. Family owned for over 36 years. They provide top-notch fence installation services across Northeast Ohio. Specializing in residential, commercial, and industrial fencing, they offer a wide range of options, including aluminum, vinyl, wood, and chain link. You can call the number 330-626-5170 for a free estimate or visit rtfence.com. And whether you need a new fence or a custom gate, trust the experts at R&T Fence Company to deliver quality and professionalism. That's rtfence.com, your fencing solution. Second and long for the Hornets. Paul hands off inside, breaking through, huge gain. Alfieri breaks down the right sideline. Danny Alfieri still on his feet and eventually gets dragged down. Big run for Alfieri as he slices through the Smithies defense.
And this is the fear that you have if you face him, no matter what defense you have. When he gets to second level, you do not want to bring that big man down, ever.
So, that was a tough task for Isaiah Lee, the freshman, who ended up chasing down Alfieri and keeping 6 points off the board for the Smithies. They were just a few weeks removed from Alfieri scoring 6 rushing touchdowns in a game. Pitch out left side. That's Silvestro working back through the middle. He'll get a gain of about 5 to 6 yards.
And Silvestro has been doing a good job of getting, the second, breaking tackles and kind of getting that second effort in there.
On the tackle for the Smithies.
Right, so it's going to be.
It's going to be a necessary timeout here for Smithville.
Yeah, they need that double A chance to breathe for a second here as Kirtland continues to get the ball down the field here relatively quickly. Now stay comfortable year-round with air quality control heating and cooling. Serving Northeast Ohio for over 35 years, they specialize in residential HVAC installation, repair, and maintenance. From air conditioning to heating, they handle everything. If you need emergency service, call 24/7 at 216-531-5202 and ask for Joe, or visit airqualitycontrolhvac.com for more information and to schedule your appointment. Trust the experts at Air Quality Control for reliable, top-quality HVAC solutions. That's airqualitycontrolhvac.com. Your comfort is our priority.
I want to thank Luke Batowski, who runs the Kirtland Hornets stat crew, because we talked about in the first quarter in that Perry game, they were scoreless against Perry, but in the second quarter, Kirtland outscored Perry 14-7. So this is a Kirtland team who can flip the switch just like that.
Well, yeah, slow start, but they're able to keep it going as Lessig gets the end around. He works right side. Lessig lowers the shoulder and gets down to about the 11-yard line. So third down on the way for Kirtland.
And this is a Kirtland team, especially on the defensive side, that's been beat up. A lot of injuries, a lot of critical injuries. Coach Laverty talked about, hey, these young guys are ready to go because they load their JV schedule. So you're facing Avon, you're facing Medina Highland, a couple of times. You're ready for big playoff games like this.
Exactly right. Pitch out. Alfieri working left side, lowering the shoulder, getting through, torn down inside the 5.
Alfieri.
You're going to say right at the 5 instead, so that should be enough for a Hornets first down, and it's first and goal for the first time tonight.
And that was a successful run, but again, he has to be careful because this defense, when they get in that game tackle, you clearly see they're going for strips. So they're trying to get Alfieri, they're trying to get him out, kind of loose, have that ball exposed. He has to make sure that's protected and covered.
So first and goal, Paul under center, pitches out, Alfieri cuts inside, Danny Alfieri in for 6. A touchdown for Kirtland. And it took a while, but we're on the board.
So we were just talking about how, in the first run, he put the ball on the turf, and he needed that big run. He finally got it, and then the goal line, you just saw it on the replay. You saw the offensive line open things up, and Kirtland, the first one on the board, taking advantage of the turnover on the other end, a big interception.
So 6 big points for the Hornets as the clock continues to move through. We're at 7:23 to go already in this first half. And I think we're going to see a 2-point conversion attempt here as Silvestro and Alfieri will be in the backfield for Paul. Gonna try and go for 2. Paul gonna pitch out. Silvestro works inside, cuts through, and he's in. John Silvestro gets in the 2-point conversion. That means it's now 8-0 here on CVC TV in this Division 6 Region 21 second round playoff football action. The Greeny Sports Cards is live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on their social media pages with exclusive hobby talk and interviews. You can tune in and interact with them during the show. Just search Greeny Sports Cards, that's Greenie Sports Cards, on all social media channels, or find their links on their website, greenysportscards.com.
I want to talk about how Kirtland was able to respond, and I'll tell you, when you have a team, you have a schedule that's pretty much loaded, right? Out of the 10 teams they faced in the regular season, Kirtland, 8 of those teams made the playoffs.
Oh.
So every single week, you're facing top-level competition. It's easy to take for granted their success, but they're facing elite competition to get here.
Runyon boots that ball away down that sideline. It's going to go out of bounds, so another good chance for starting field position right here for the Smithies, who have gotten on the Kirtland side of the field multiple times, AA, but have not been able to break through and get points on the board just yet.
And I'll just say this, on that previous possession for Smithville, it was one bad play. But one bad play could cost you a playoff game against this Kirtland team.
Leaving your identity, trying to throw the ball maybe a little bit too much on that play. We'll see if it comes back to bite the Smithies as they bring back their offense onto the field.
35.
On the 35-yard line of the Smithies here. See if Smithville can get things going on offense again.
And again, Cannon, number 7, he could run the ball too.
Seeing him make some plays there. Lee in motion, but it's going to be handoff Haynes up the middle. Haynes working through. He's brought down by Alfieri.
Mason Haynes.
Maybe a gain of a yard or 2 if that.
I do like the play call, though, even though it was a minimal gain. Keep this defense, which is loaded with speed, and they attack, keep them off balance a little bit. So even though it was only a 2-yard gain, running some counters, keeping this defense off center, good play call at this stage of the game.
Trying to reestablish that running game. Remember, Haynes missed a little bit of time in that first quarter with that injury, able to get back on the field now after what seemed to be an ankle. And that's going to be a false start there. Just trying to get that blocked a little bit early. So move it 5 yards back. Yeah, Will Blankenship just trying to get off a little bit too quick there to try and block one of those linebackers, but they'll have to retry again here on second down.
Kyle, I think together we have called about, 3 or 4 Kirtland games, maybe 5 Kirtland games in the last 2 years. And every opponent that they face, it's more mental. It's more of, oh no, they're flying all over the place. I got to get that block. And you got to get over that mental block if you're Smithville. You had the confidence, you had the momentum, but it's those little things you got to overcome.
It's very tough against a team like Kirtland. We mentioned they're perennial state championship contenders here in Division 6. Seems like every year the roster just gets better somehow. Second and long for Smithville. Handoff Haynes, left side, working back through the middle, and he's going to get brought down almost immediately.
Haynes with the carry.
Solid tackle up the middle right there for Kirtland. That was Xander Perko who got inside, going to force 3rd and long.
And what makes it tough, too, Kirtland, they're loaded with depth as well. Every play you're seeing substitutions defensively. You know, what's listed, of course, with the Hornet crew sheet, you know, there are a ton of names that's listed that are getting regular time in the offense and the defense due to their depth.
So another challenge for the Smithies. And a third, about 13, as we have 5.5 to go in this first half. It'll be a pass from Cannon, looking left side, rolling to his left. Cannon throws. That ball is floating out there. It is thrown up, and it is incomplete. Tell you what, he had a play on the ball out there. That was 26 for Kirtland there. That is Carter Luzar. We saw him make a big stop on one of the special teams plays to keep the ball on the other side of the field. That time almost came up with an interception.
Yeah, this is starting. Great defense, of course. Luzar, of course, wanted that play. It's starting to get a little concerning for Smithville because what they're doing, they're forcing Cannon out of the pocket. They're flushing him out into throwing uncomfortable throws.
Yeah, don't want to do that too much because you know there's a team that can make you pay. It could be Kirtland. That ball almost blocked. A solid kick, though. And a fair catch taken by Lessig down at about the 36-yard line. Credit where credit's due to Chase Leach to be able to get that punt off. And they'll essentially flip the field here, and that's where Kirtland will take back over on offense. Some momentum now for the Hornets double edge, scoring on that last possession.
Yeah, and of course, you know, getting big runs in there too. So everything that went wrong for Kirtland in the first quarter, and I mean a ton went wrong in the first quarter, they're a championship team for a reason. They have figured it out. They have locked in. Coach Laverty and this coaching staff has seen every possible scenario at the second season, what they call these playoffs. So another opportunity here to extend the lead.
See what Max Paul and this offense can do again as he leads them out there. Samick will be the long tailback here. Paul going to pass. Looking, taking a shot, right side. It's up and it's incomplete. Kirtland taking a shot on the right sideline to Jack Lessig and just a little bit too far out of his reach. Second down.
Paul doesn't pass that much. You know, he's taken over since the Fairview game when Jake Laverty, was injured and has been out. His first game was against Bookshire back on October 4th as a starter this year. And for Paul, you know, it wasn't connected because they have had a lot of passing reps in games.
I do see some of those every once in a while, but we know what the identity of this Kirtland offense is, and it's right there, a handoff. Alfieri working right side. He cuts through. Danny Alfieri turns the corner. Alfieri, it's a foot race, and he's going to turn the corner and get down inside the 15-yard line. Danny Alfieri was able to turn that corner and go. Watch this replay.
I want you to watch 34. Watch the driving block and pancake right there.
So that's the second time that Lee had to chase him down. The freshman able to make the stop, keeping Alfieri out of the end zone, at least for now, as the ball's all the way down on the 5-yard line.
Man, that's close, man. I'll
Danny
tell you.
Alfieri, he just turned that corner after that, cutting through initially on the offensive line, cutting through around them, and it was a foot race to the end zone. Pitch at Silvestro. He works inside. Silvestro scores. 14-0 Kirtland. And now the offense starting to hum. The machine that is the Hornets.
And again, it's just the kick out blocks there and getting things going. Right there is quick. Everything's up tempo. You don't even have time to think about what happened on the previous big play. We've talked about what Tom Brady has mentioned in the commentary about breather plays. Kirtland doesn't do that. Kirtland, they go at it. When you are tired, they attack.
And again, another pitch to Silvestro. He works right side, and he'll jog in for the two-point conversion. It's his second two-point conversion of the game, and it's 16-0 Kirtland on top of Smithville right here on CVC TV. Hey, have you ever had an unwanted guest in your home? I'm not talking about my broadcast partner, AA. No, how about unwanted wildlife guests? Well, guess what? Alpha Animal Removal is Northeast Ohio's #1 service for animal control. Get this, they even specialize in the exclusion and humane removal of things like bats. Yeah, there are bats in Northeast Ohio. Trust me on that one. If you need your wildlife guests to be safely trapped and removed, visit alphaanimalremoval.com for more information.
You know, Coach Olson for Smithville talked about how this matchup in this game, no matter what happens today, because these kids are playing really hard. They're very talented. This is a measuring stick game for this program to see how far they have come. And I'm very curious to see their response right here.
Because again, a kickoff by running. This one going to be eventually fielded down inside the 10-yard line. Turning upfield and just nowhere to go on the return right there was Ben Beckler, who is one of the two freshmen who return kickoffs for the Smithville squad. And the offense will head back onto the field for another possession now, finding themselves at one point it was 0-0 to start the score, now down 16 to Kirtland.
So if you're Smithville, you just got to lock in. You know, you've had success against this defense, you know, and it's been, you know, they open up with a couple of direct snaps too, but lock in, see what you can do here, get some positive momentum.
So when you have Kirtland on the ropes early in the game, you have to be able to capitalize, otherwise you can find yourselves down like this. It's a late option handoff, and it's going to be just with nowhere to go. The ball's actually on the floor, and I think Kirtland may have got that. We'll see officially here. And they are going to give it to the Hornets, so Kirtland's going to get the fumble recovery. Everything going Kirtland's way now. It was such a delayed handoff from Cannon. He waited and waited and waited, eventually kept it himself. We saw some success earlier in the game with that double A, but this time, Cannon too long, he loses the football.
Let's see here if there was a strip late.
He tried to hand it off.
The
handoff
wasn't successful.
No, yeah. Haynes was past the ball already. He was too late on the handoff.
Yeah.
He tried to hand it into his back. The ball bounced off, and Kirtland was able to recover. Wow, so great field position for the Hornets, who are coming off back-to-back touchdown drives. Samick in motion, but it's going to be a handoff up the middle. Alfieri gets the carry and gets a solid gain of about 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, you're just at a point right now. First off, if you're Kirtland, you know what you need to do right now. You need to close in. And again, the Hornets do get the ball to start the second half as well. So defensively, we're well aware of how important this is right now.
4 drives, double A. The first 4 drives, Smithville was able to get deep into Kirtland territory, but they could just not capitalize and get points on the board. Against this team, you have to be able to do that if you're going to get close. Silvestro cuts up the middle. John Silvestro jogs into the end zone. Touchdown, Kirtland. And here we go. The doors are getting blown off as Silvestro found his way in for 6 more.
He is a master of those cutbacks. He's quick too, those hips.
Wow.
You know, you say, you know, when you're a defender, you're facing somebody with that much speed to read the hips, but then it's tough when it's that quick.
This is the thing that happens too. Silvestro is actually going to check out for this, I'm assuming, another 2-point conversion attempt. They have so many different weapons. It could be Lessig, it could be Alfieri, it could be Silvestro, it could be Paul if you will.
And again, we cannot stress enough, and you're 100% right. You know, you got to take advantage when you have the opportunity. You know, it's almost like a March Madness situation, but too much talent, too much physicality.
And Kirtland up 22-0 now, and they will go for 2 again.
An absolute blitz. This was 0-0 with 9 minutes to go in this quarter.
Paul going to roll out a little dump-off pass. It's caught, and Lessig's going to jog in for the 2-point conversion. Simple 2 yards for the Hornets, and they now lead 24-0 right here on CVC TV. Well, you're looking to sell your home? Let Woodlake Realty help you make the move and save big while you're at it. Right now, for a limited time, mention this ad and get your house listed for only 1.5%. That's one of the lowest rates in the market. That's expert service, full exposure, and more money in your pocket. Don't wait. Call Woodlake Realty today and let us make selling your home a breeze. Remember, just mention this ad for the special 1.5% listing offer. That's Woodlake Realty, where your move matters. More information on their website, www.woodlakere.com.
Kirtland has outscored Smithville 24-0 in a span of 5 minutes.
It's just one of those things.
It happens that quick.
Kirtland just does that double A. I think we've called enough games together, partner, now to know that they can, when the offense is moving, it is moving and very tough to stop. And again, they're not reinventing the wheel. Coach Laverty mentioned that, obviously, in the conversation I had with them earlier this week. Very simple, just straightforward mindset and how they play this game. And that's a double A special right there as he catches that fair catch and falls straight down.
Well, I think the man upstairs has something to do with that because he slipped and fell.
Yeah, Blankenship just decided to run back, get that ball, and go down immediately, and that's where the Smithies will take over now. They had one play last drive with that fumble on the delay handoff and put Kirtland in great field position. A couple plays later, it's another score for the Hornets. Can the Smithies respond with 3:39 to go in this first half?
Well, we're gonna find out a lot about who they are. Again, I would love to see a direct snap. Just let Haynes get after it.
I think you're going to see exactly that as there he goes. Mason Haynes works right side. He's got some angles. Haynes cuts back inside, spins through, still on his feet. Haynes powering near the first down. No quit in Mason Haynes.
That's the type of run you need. If you're Smithville, move those chains, go back to what has worked for you. And Haynes has done that. Let him operate, let him work.
And you kind of had to go away from it a little bit, Double A, because of that turned ankle, I believe, in the first quarter. But Haynes seems to be okay. That run indicative of that as he moved the chains for a first down.
You want to be in situations where your offensive line is driving forward, and that's what you're going for.
Want to use that size. Haynes, direct snap again. Got to cut back right side. It's a foot race to the sideline. Haynes turns the corner, and he's met by Alfieri, running back on running back right there. Is Alfieri, who plays linebacker too, able to meet him and keep that gain to a minimum.
Alfieri is fast.
Got that speed too.
He is.
And the size.
That's the crazy part. It's like not only is he every big man who's also fast is almost like a cheat code. It's almost like, wait a minute, you're already tall, you're already big. You don't need to be fast too.
Kirtland, which seems like a cheat code every time they take the field. Handoff again, Haynes. He'll work that right side, lowers the shoulder, dives forward. Solid gain of about 4 to 5. It's going to bring up third down. Under 3 minutes to go in this first half.
And again, you know, Smithville's going with their bread and butter, but of course, where they have had trouble here in the second quarter has been in the air. When Kirtland is putting pressure on this offense to attack, the safety, they're not blitzing. The safety is everyone's covered. So which one of these receivers is going to be able to get open, and can Cannon get the ball to them quickly?
So here we go, third down and about 6 for Cannon in this offense. Lee in motion, going to be a handoff. Haynes left side, Haynes lowers the shoulder, a big hit towards the end of that play. Oh, it was a huge shot. Alfieri was in there, so was Runyon. Perko laid the wood on the hit though.
And I don't hate that call. I know it didn't turn into a first down.
No, you're going for it.
But obviously you're going for it. Well, Kirtland called timeout because they want, you want to stop the clock there. Yes. But I don't hate that play call. You stick with what has worked for you, which is running the football. And you have a 4th and short situation, which you have been successful at in 4th and shorts before, running the football.
We'll see what Kirtland can do here on defense, trying to get it stopped, and Smithies can keep some offensive momentum going. If you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or repair your ATVs and equipment, look no further than Hobby Motorsports and Equipment. They offer top deals and expert repairs for all your motorsports needs. Whether you're upgrading or need a quick fix, their team has got you covered. You can visit them on Facebook, Hobby Motorsports and Equipment, or visit their store right here in Kirtland at 7935 Euclid Chardon Road. Hobby Motorsports and Equipment, your trusted source for all things ATV and equipment. Well, so much for going for it, Double A. Looks like you're going to punt this football away. Leach takes the snap, punts it through. Play is called dead, though. And it's going to be a false start against Smithville, so they'll have to back up 5 yards. So any thought about maybe faking the punt probably goes up by the wayside now, as unless we'll get an opportunity here.
I just want to make an observation here at Wilson Stadium that at the other side of the field here, all the smoke you see is from the barbecue.
They're grilling. H boots this one down the right sideline, and we'll take a Smithville bounce, roll inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line. That's where Kirtland will take over with exactly 2 minutes to go in this first half, up 24-0. It was 0-0, and Smithville had the ball to start this second quarter. But it has been all Kirtland, one of their highest scoring quarters of the season. We mentioned, again, a 5-minute stretch where Kirtland scored all 24 of their points here in the second quarter, under 9 minutes, all the way to like the 3:41 mark of this quarter. But this is, the turn of the game is right here, right now. Can Smithville defensively lock in, contain 37, contain the deep threats? Of course, Kirtland's going to run here, but you need that containment. Well, they've been showing they're willing to take some shots with Max Paul under center. Deep pass is just out of the reach of Jack Lessick on one of these drives in the second quarter. And there it is. Paul going to roll out to the right side, taking a shot down the right sideline. He's got a receiver. It is caught and out of bounds. Wow. We just almost spoke it into existence.
We did.
For Lessick as he makes the play down the right sideline. What a beautiful throw, and just tailed off a little bit too far to the sideline. If he could have stayed in bounds, he may have been gone.
I know, and that's just, I'll tell you.
How do you beat a team like that is able to take shots down the field too?
It's the mental game.
Oh my goodness!
Because you mentioned it's 2 minutes. You lock things down defensively on the ground. You could get the ball back, but my goodness.
Now Kirtland in the shotgun. Paul going to throw again over the middle. It's tipped and almost intercepted. The pass-happy Kirtland offense there. Throw over the middle from Paul is incomplete.
Yeah, so how about that?
Now changing the script a little bit here on the Smithies defense.
The clock stops here, minute 48. So you look for peak openings if you're the defense, just peak openings. But offensively, though, you know what they're trying to do. They're going for kill shots right now.
Trying to put more points on the board. Paul this time under center. Samick in motion. Going to be a handoff inside to Alfieri. He breaks through. Danny Alfieri. It's a foot race, and he's gone. 6 more for Danny Alfieri. 30-0. Kirtland, all 30 points coming in this second quarter.
And watch how this offensive line really opened it up. You saw it there briefly. And really, what you just saw is all you needed to see because that offensive line just separated things and opened it.
Oh, my goodness.
And that run, he runs low, too. For as big as he is, he's the low center of gravity. That's why it's tough to bring down an open field.
It's another 2-point conversion attempt. They've converted all of them to this point. Paul pitches. Here's Silvestro. He cuts inside, spun through, and he is going to be brought down short. So the score will stay 30-0 right here on CVC TV. Kirtland has opened up a huge lead in this second quarter. If you're looking to break into the exciting world of broadcasting, film, or digital media, the Ohio Media School in Cleveland offers hands-on training in TV and radio broadcasting, audio production, sports broadcasting, and more. Their real-world approach, taught by industry professionals, ensures you're job-ready in just 8 months. Located conveniently over in Valley View, their Cleveland campus is your gateway to a rewarding career in media. Visit beonair.com to start your journey today. No, partner.
It's that quick, man.
0-0, starting in the second quarter. Smithies had the ball now with 1:41 to go in the quarter, down 30-0, just like that.
And they went a quick home run shot. Again, we talked about how Coach Laverde and his coaching staff is one of the best, at least in the state, in making in-game adjustments. Because what is concerning, they don't start well.
Kickoff going to go over to Lee. The freshman takes it from his own 10-yard line. Lee goes upfield, works through. He's going to get spun and brought down. Great tackle in the open field right there from Kirtland. And again, it feels like they had all the momentum in that first quarter. They held the ball for so long. They forced a turnover from the Hornets.
Well, think about the excitement that, we're on the visitor side this week. Think about the excitement, and we felt it at the end of the quarter.
They would feel more excited about a 0-0 game.
But that's what but that's what they were shooting for. And then one home run shot that was picked off, and the game changed from that moment, and it's been all Kirtland ever since.
Really did. Is the Smithies, who will have to play defense to start the third quarter too, trying to make something happen. I think it was Haynes who threw the football deep down the right sideline. It's incomplete. Mason Haynes just threw that ball 50 yards down the right sideline.
If that connected, that was 6.
And that was the freshman Lee who was streaking down the sideline, had a step or two, but Haynes, actually the running back, overthrew the intended receiver Lee on that play. Wow.
Well, can't say he doesn't work hard in the weight room.
I mean, my goodness.
he get after
5'9", 175, but Haynes had a cannon right there. Speaking of cannon, Brock Cannon back in the game, the actual quarterback. He'll turn, he'll hand off to Haynes. More of his natural position. Haynes runs through and gets down past the 35-yard line.
We mentioned earlier.
25, I should say.
I'm sorry. We mentioned earlier about these defensive starters. I love what Coach Laverty said. One of the replacement guys that's come in has led this team in tackles the last couple of weeks.
It's unbelievable to think about, yeah.
And Coach Laverty is like, that kid is going to play when you're healthy. So it's, every week it's a competition to be on this field.
It's truly phenomenal to see. There's always the talent that Kirtland has, starting in the youth programs. Handoff, Haynes, middle. Kirtland gets the stop there, so it's going to be 4th down here.
And we'll talk a little bit more about it in the second half, but
We called another timeout, I believe, too, Double A.
I think so.
Kirtland trying to get another possession here before the half. And the way the offense is played, why not?
And what, the previous possession, that happened in less than a minute, I believe.
It was very quick because it was the big pass that went out of bounds, an incompletion, and then it was Alfieri knifing his way through the middle. So just a couple plays to get points on the board, and I guess Kirtland wants to try and do a few more. Now it is 4th and a long 3, so you could go for this, and I think if you're Smithville, they're going to have the punt unit out, but I'm surprised at this point you don't just go for it. Try to keep possession here.
You know what? I actually agree with this call. Punt the you want to play field position. I understand the score. I get it. But with 45 seconds, if you don't convert the first down and you go for it, Kirtland's going to score. I mean, from that spot. At least minimize the chance by punting the ball.
He's going to put that one in. It's blocked. It is tipped. And the ball is going to die at about the 44-yard line. So that's also the risk if you punt it. Again, I understand if it's
that
further.
That can happen any play, too.
I know, but I understand it's only 3 yards. It's the end of the first half. You want to probably just keep possession and go into halftime with the ball. I mean, that's a tough call. I understand why you make it on both sides of it, but now Kirtland gets the ball just about 10, 15 yards further than what they would have got if he wouldn't have got the first down.
I did not forecast the punt block in my analysis.
Nevertheless, the Hornets with another chance here as Double A gives our cameraman noogies. 37 seconds to go in the quarter. And it's going to be a pass. Paul, right side throw. It's caught. And a jog out of bounds. Great catch by Lessick on the right sideline.
First of all, this is what happens when we're near our camera crew. Once every, 3 or 4 games.
And he just get the thumbs up of approval, which was great. So appreciate that as it's second and short. Again, going out of bounds that way, so the clock stops.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be a long 33 seconds here for this defense.
Paul in the shotgun. He's going to pass again. The fake goes left side. It's high, and it's caught. No, it's dropped. Incomplete. Actually went through the hands of the intended receiver there. That was Kirtland, who we mentioned is the leading receiver for the squad, though Lessick has been the big play target today so far.
Yeah, Lessick's been doing – both guys have been doing a great job. But Lessick, of course, handling business. But, let's see, 3rd and 10. You got –
No, 3rd and about 2.
Or 3rd and 2.
Yeah, they haven't changed the scoreboard up there yet. Paul again going to look to pass, right side. Going to dump it off, throwing it out of bounds, incomplete, near the direction of Lessick. And 4th and 2 now, and I'd imagine Kirtland should just go for this here.
Under pressure from Raber.
Yeah, Raber got that there and forced that ball out of the hands quickly from Paul. And 4th down on the way.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. The manual scoreboard in the stadium has been locked in on 3rd and 10.
It's
but
been stuck there for a few plays. Yeah.
The manual scoreboard in the stadium, but it's 4th and 2.
So they will go for it. Hand off, middle. Alfieri still on his feet, lowering his shoulder, getting down past the 30 down inside.
Now, they don't have a timeout left in this half.
They're trying to hurry up now. Remember, the play stops until the ball is set. Paul spikes it. So they're kind of treating this essentially like it's a close game in a short yardage situation where you're trying to score to end a quarter. So it's really more about the scenario and not about the physical score on the board right now for Kirtland.
Well, I'll say there's both. I agree with you, but, also knowing that, a 30-0 game, of course, this game's going to start with a running clock. It's the 30-point difference in the second half. So that benchmark's there, but, yeah.
They're trying to kind of
Adding
prepare
points.
themselves. Yeah, prepare themselves for this kind of situation where they have to spike these plays and get in these moments. It's going to be a fake. Paul going to roll to his right side, throwing. It's a bullet pass. It is caught.
Got to get back to the ball.
Yep, as that play, I think, did move the chains for a first down. They have 10 seconds to go here. Kirtland's probably going to spike this one again. They will. Paul puts it in the dirt, only loses a second off the clock.
Well, oftentimes, as the quarterback, you're not looking to the opposite sideline to make sure that the chains are set before the clock. You're in rhythm. You're doing your thing there. But it's amazing. These last 2 minutes, there's been 3 possessions between both of these teams.
They've been working their way through it, and Kirtland throwing the ball a lot here to close out this first half. Paul getting some reps. It's a quick play. It's going to be a throw to the left side, and it's incomplete. Took a shot. And just out of bounds. No chance for the receiver to make a play on this close sideline here. That was essentially a jump ball thrown up there to Evan Kaprowski, the 6'4 junior. If you're going to throw a jump ball, it makes sense to throw it to the 6'4 guy.
Wonder here if Kirtland's going to kick the field goal. Now, if you can hear in our microphones, it is pretty breezy.
Yeah. Now the American flag in the eastern end of the stadium here is blowing from right to left. So Runyon's going to attempt this one. Try and put it through the uprights. Snap, good hold down, kick on the way. It is up, it is good. Runyon makes it.
No, Runyon's kick is good.
And there's 4 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if it ran.
That clock didn't run at all.
It didn't run. They're going to run it off now. So that's going to be the score. 33-0 at halftime. Kirtland, a little bit of everything in this first half on the offense. And I should say, really, this second quarter, they take a huge lead.
Second quarter. It was, again, with 8:41 to go in this quarter, the second quarter, it was a 0-0 ball game.
Impressive run for the Hornets. It's time to take a break here. 33-0 to score at halftime. We'll have first half analysis and second half football after this.
Have you ever had an unwanted guest? No, not your ex, not your neighbor. I'm talking about an animal that belongs outside that you find inside your home. Well, guess what? Alpha Animal Removal will take care of all of that for you. From trapping and removal to animal damage repair to prevention screening and more. Alpha Animal Removal will ensure your unwelcome guest stays out. So the next time you need to trap or remove your unwanted wildlife guest, go to alpha-animal-removal.com.
Think you have what it takes to be a sports broadcaster if you have a passion for sports. Ohio Media School can train you in just 8 short months to be an announcer, host, radio personality, and so much more. Get paid to talk sports, flexible class schedule, hands-on training and financial aid for those who qualify. Start your career now by visiting us online at beyonair.com or call 3-112-884-8000.
And featured advisor Haley Peters, we proudly present the 2024 Smithville High School Smithies Marching Band. We begin tonight with a song that the senior class marched at the beginning of their freshman year. Here is Living on a Prayer by John Bon Jovi. To close the show, we will be featuring our senior twirler, Jacob Leno, and senior feature twirler, Corinne Hicks. We hope you enjoy our rendition of Fireball. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the 2024 Smithville High School Smithies Marching Band. We would like to thank the Kirtland Marching Band for inviting us out tonight and wish them a great rest of the season.
Yeah, what's he doing too? Camera
Are you in on the track?
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Noah Reynolds and Assistant Director Miss Morgan Smock, with flag and major advisors Caitlin Strab and Kirsten Smith, and percussion instructor Mr. Alec Ward, we proudly present the pride of Kirtland, the 2024 Kirtland Hornet Marching Band. We opened tonight's halftime show with a song released in September of 2014 by the American rock band Fall Out Boy. Here is Centuries. We feature our flags and majorettes with this song released by solo pop artist Brendan Urie in 2018. Here is High Hopes. We close our halftime show with the main song from the hit 2017 musical, The Greatest Showman. This is The Greatest Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kirtland Hornet Marching Band. Have a good night and go Hornets! 50-50, get your tickets out.
Steph Curry's playing? No, let's go, Cavs! Let's go!
$50-50 green tickets.
What?
523 245. 523 245. Green ticket. Claim your prize at the concession.
Right here. It'll be a one round pop. I promise it'll hurt.
We were getting ready to come look for you.
Well, I wondered if one of you did, because somebody tried to open the door.
It was 4 minutes and 38 seconds, so you're good.
Some scores throughout the area. Perry 3, Struthers 0. Netter 13, Strongsville 0. Columbia 21, Magado 0. Score from downtown, Cavaliers 68, Warriors 34.
Welcome back in, folks. Halftime here at Wilson Stadium. The score 33-0. Kirtland leading Smithville right here on CVC TV. Round 2, playoff action. Division 6 Region 21 here on CVC TV. And AA, what a first half it was for the Hornets. I should specifically say the second quarter because that's where they scored all 33 of their points.
Yeah, tell of 2 quarters. And, after one, Smithville was feeling really, really good. They had Kirtland on the ropes, who was wondering, wait a minute, what was going on? And then one interception early in the second quarter. And in a span of 5 minutes, Kirtland was up 24-0. And then you see the score now, 33-0. And it just hasn't worked out too well for the Smithville team. It's just been a quarter, really. It's just unbelievable. But we'll talk more about that coming up in a little bit. Of course, Kirtland, one of 5 teams competing in the CVC playoffs. Sorry, executive producer doing work there. There in the backfield. Let's take you through some scores here. Cuyahoga Heights right now up on the number 1 seed, Western Reserve, 7-0. These are all halftime scores, by the way. 7-0 at the break.
That's huge, by the way, for Cuyahoga Heights, Division 7.
Division 7, Region 25. They're up there. Perry up 3-0. Who are they playing here, Kyle? Strutters.
Your handwriting's worse than mine.
Well, I wrote in the code.
You wrote in the code?
It was code. I was trying to write it down.
No vowels, only consonants.
Yeah. 3-0 at the half over there at Alumni Stadium. Aurora up over Geneva 21-7, and then Manchester up over Bookshire 28-0. All scores at the half.
As 5 CVC teams remain, who will be remaining after the night is over. Of course, make sure you check SugarandValleyConference.com for all the updated scores and updated matchups for week 3 of the high school football playoff season here.
Also, if you're a basketball fan, our sports information director, Steve Harry, he's putting up some basketball previews. Want to check those out as well.
Excited to see that as Kirtland receives the second half kickoff. It's Lessick. He cuts back inside. Jack Lessick gets spun down past the 30, and that's where the Hornets will begin their opening possession of the third quarter.
So the one saving grace that Smithville had defensively was that they only gave up a field goal at the end instead of another touchdown. So it's just another, you're trying to look for that silver lining, trying to look for something of an opportunity. But kind of have to see what's going on there.
There we go. The clock will be running in this half. Remember, the high school rule is that the score is over 30-0. In the second half, the clock will run. First down for Kirtland. Yeah. Handoff to Alfieri. He gets trucked through. Smithville's defense coming out. No gain for Alfieri. Maybe a half a yard they'll give it to him on that one.
And if you just want that opportunity to make this into a game, it has to happen here in this drive defensively for Smithville. And we can't state enough. If you joined our coverage late, we cannot stress enough how much momentum they had in that first quarter.
Oh, it was. You could even argue they were winning that game. I know it was scoreless, but the way they were playing just felt like they had it. As it's a handoff through, it's Samick. He gets brought down. Huge stop right on that short field play there. It's a great tackle right there by number 11 for the Smithville Smithies. That's Jace Leach. We see him obviously as a tight end, plays some linebacker too, handles the punting duties, and that time got in the backfield and kept them for no gain.
And Leach did a great job there. He's the leader of the defense there too, directing traffic, calling the plays. He slipped right in, identified the guard, made the play defensively, and they need that here if they want to start this comeback attempt.
All right, so it should be third down here.
Of course, Max Paul, when he was asked to throw the football in this first half, incredible.
And he'll be asked to do it again. Paul looking, throwing. He's got a receiver streaking and in and out of the hands. Incomplete. Was looking at the bottom of your screen there for Kharkov, who just could not corral it. A little bit overthrown, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
I want to apologize to all the Kirtland fans tuning in. That was the definition of an announcer's jinx.
You spoke it into existence,
I
partner.
spoke too soon.
There you go.
It was just a little misfire, and you got a 3 and out.
Good job by Smithville on the defensive end to get a stop to start this third quarter. And I think that may be encroachment. We'll see what the official call is.
And if that's the case, it should be a 5-yard penalty.
Yes.
Which would still be 4th down.
But it moves things a little bit closer. Still waiting for the official ruling. They're going to call a false start on Kirtland. So 5 yards further back. Silvestro's in to punt the ball away this time, and we'll have to move a few yards further backwards before he gets to punt it away. Again, got Lee, the freshman, back to return for Smithville. Ball going to bounce through, and he's in a fair catch. Just want to let it roll through. It's going to be a good punt by Silvestro. It's going to fall inside the 25, down to about the 24-yard line. And that's where the first offensive possession of the second half will come from this Smithies football team AA we mentioned. The first quarter, they essentially dominated the ball in possession. They forced a turnover from Kirtland, but the second quarter, one of the most roughest ones we've seen all year. Kirtland just enforced their will. Can Smithville find a way to get some momentum down the third quarter?
Well, getting that 3 and out is the start, right? Defensively, really being confident in what you're looking at and going after it. That's the start. And it's a little concern on the Kirtland side of things that coming out of the locker room to start the game and coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter, a little sluggish on there, and something to watch out for. But Smithville has to take advantage.
First down, Cannon looking to pass, throws, short, it's caught. The catch by Leach, who gets torn down. Past the first down marker, Silvestro got there on the stop. Again, Brock Cannon, who maybe has the coolest name in Wayne County, makes the completion for the first down.
You're not getting a debate out of me on that one.
That's a quarterback name right there.
That
Brock
is.
Cannon.
Yes, it is. Junior quarterback. He was able to set his feet.
Yes.
And make a sharp throw, a concise throw, find that open pocket to get the first.
So Smithville, again, on this side of the 50, they've been able to get some plays, but when they cross midfield is when they run into some trouble. As Haynes will get the carry. He breaks through the middle. Haynes lowers his shoulder. Past the 40-yard line, down to about the 41. That's where his momentum was stopped. Haynes.
You always say if, you got to have one in order to get the other. It's a matter of what comes first, right? Do you want to open up the passing game in order to have a strong running attack or vice versa? And I think here in this case for Smithville, opening things up with a successful pass play out of play action, which is their specialty, and opening things up for Haynes, good start here.
To see it is the handoff to Haynes again. He bounces left side, working through. Silvestro tracked him down, though, and got the stop behind the line. Great job by John Silvestro to chase down Haynes, who likes to, we see, bounce, keep the ball alive, try to make plays, and work the outside, but that time could not get there.
And Silvestro, the defender, he did a great job not going into the backfield, but he slid across the line. So he never lost ground, where good tailbacks like Haynes would have been able to just cut up field against a defender like that, but the defender just stayed right at that line of scrimmage and slid down and made the play.
So 3rd down and 5. Be a pass from Cannon, looking, stepping up, throwing. He's got a receiver. It is caught, and that's going to be a first down. Great catch at the bottom of your screen right there. And that was to Blankenship, who moves the chains, his first catch of the night. And Smithville getting some momentum now in offense, double way.
And they had a couple options here, too. They had another receiver downfield, but Blankenship, that was the guy they wanted to go to. And you had that post route that he ran, did a great job. And another successful play here. Again, this is how they opened the first quarter.
Looking strong, as it's going to be a handoff up the middle, lowering the shoulder. Haynes gets maybe a yard or two, and that actually was number 42 got the carry there, Ashton Raber, who checked in for a carry there.
Keeping things off balance. That's kind of what what you want to do. Now, something to be mindful of in these next couple of plays here. The clock is going down. So at some point, Smithville, they're going to want to take another deep shot and get in this end zone in order to give themselves a chance here in this ball game.
Yeah, game clock right now at 5 minutes are ready to go in this third quarter. Pass, Cannon, middle, caught. Catch by Leach, who's near the first down. Out to his left, is under pressure, trying to get through. He throws it back foot. And there's flags that came in. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe a hold. And they're going to say maybe a face mask instead.
Nice.
And that's just trying to flail to grab the quarterback there. And Yeah, there's going to be a face mask on Kirtland, so the play is going to move.
That's going to be a new set of downs.
I would imagine it would be. We'll see how many yards they give them, and I think
should be with a face mask, new
15,
set of downs.
Yeah, so that's going to be a huge penalty against the Hornets.
Coach Laverty is not happy about that. Coach Olson of Smithville talked about how disciplined this Kirtland Hornets team is. So for that to happen on a 4th down, that situation, that's pretty shocking.
This is the deepest that Smithville has been since the first quarter. Trying to work their way to get deep again into Kirtland territory. Handoff middle. Nowhere to go. As Haynes got stopped pretty much immediately. Take your pick. He had Alfieri back there. He also had number 33 for the Hornets. That was Ty Bledsoe, Jr.
And defensively, that was the right call. Just sell out for the run, which is exactly what they did there. I still can't believe, though, just with the face mask, like, you know, I know the scoreboard is what it is, but those are the little things that have to be corrected. You cannot give up a 4th down stop like that.
Cannon going to look to pass again. Brock Cannon rolling to his right, throw his back foot, and it's incomplete. Looking in the area right there of Blankenship. And that's going to bring up 3rd down. 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter.
Now you're starting to see it here with Kirtland. You're starting to see the pressure that we saw in the 2nd quarter. They're flushing Cannon out, and it's been limited success when he's flushed out of the pocket.
When they crossed that 50 AA, we've just seen, besides that face mask penalty, it essentially gave them all these yards past it. I mean, it's been tough going for this Smithies offense. They've been able to get there, but they can't seem to finish these drives, and that's a testament to Kirtland able to figure things out on defense.
The defense is creating pressure when they're on their side of the field.
Yeah, smaller side, not as much room. Quick throw, Cannon. It's a screen pass. Working through and just nowhere to go. As I believe Blankenship on the catch.
And we cannot overstate.
That was Lee actually who made the play.
This running clock, like even when you have a sustained drive going, like the quarter's almost over.
Yeah.
So it's just
107.
It's tough.
Actually said 1 minute change here. It's personnel change going to come out for the Smithies.
But
they may attempt a field goal here. It's the first time we're seeing number 9. That's their kicker, Quinn Mayback, who's got a boot. He's going to get a shot here. So this is going to be a long field goal.
Man, that referee was juicing back there.
And I think they called timeout right before the delay of game there. So 41 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and a chance to tell you that our presenting sponsor for CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. So on the other side of this timeout, there may be a long field goal attempt. It could be near 50 yards for the kicker, Quinn Mayback. Now, Mayback is not your typical kicker when it comes to size 2AA. The senior is 6'4", 230 pounds.
Wow.
We saw him in pregame warming up. He was warming from the 40-yard line.
And by the way, this is Mayback. This is not the same Mayback from Rick Ross. So
this is not music, though. It could be music to Smithville's ears. They get some points on the board.
How about that?
They're back going to line this one up. Clock will run now. Let's see if he can put it through. Snap good. Hold down. Kick on the way. Mayback lines it up. It is going to be short. And drop right at the goal line.
And remember, until it rolls into the end zone, which it just did, it is a live ball.
That's right.
That Kirtland could have returned.
Yeah, they did not put someone back. They decided to go out and block, and the Hornets will take over possession, and the clock continues to roll down. I imagine they'll switch sides here as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. 33-0. Smithville had a drive, tried to kick a long field goal, couldn't make it. And we're 1 quarter away from the Hornets moving on to the next round of the high school football playoffs. Can a miracle happen? We'll see.
I'm only laughing because of how quick that quarter was. The cheerleaders had to sprint back to their position. they were like 30 yards deep. And, man, things you see here in high school football.
Yeah, it's tough sledding down there, man. You know, flip sides here. So
they're all doing a great job. They're doing a great job across the board. And I'll tell you,
this Smithville football team, extremely talented, well-coached football team. You know, it's just tough when you're facing a team where one mistake could change the entirety of the game. And with as good a team as they are, you just can't do that against Kirtland. You got to get those points.
You have to now, as the play will be whistled in, and we're underway in the fourth quarter. Going to be a handoff right side. Some new faces checking in on that first down carry. There's a run there by number 10 for Kirtland, seeing Tommy Caney with his first action, the sophomore.
And meanwhile, on Kirtland's side of things, we talk about this. We've had Kirtland in the playoffs before. Having those young guys playing too here at this late stage, extra opportunities.
And some experience, handoff, end around, carry through, breaking through, big gain, and he's all the way through. A huge run right there. And Luzar is going to go uncontested to the house. 6 points for Luzar, 72 yards untouched for a touchdown. Oh my goodness. Carter Luzar, the sophomore, found the seam and he took it.
Yeah, he did. And he owned the opportunity. You see it. The blocking has been outstanding. Oh, man, you're seeing some crash blocks, too.
Wow.
And then his stride, really good. Really good stuff. It's almost like all the running backs here, when they're in second level and they get those long touchdown runs, they have the same stride. It's long, and it's like we can't have the defense catch us.
So we're going to see the first extra point attempt of the game as Paul's going to come in to hold this one down. Kick is up. It's a line drive, and it is no good. Cannot fall through. So the score 39-0 with 10:22 to go in this ball game. Kirtland takes just 2 plays to strike and get 6 more points on the board here in the fourth quarter. From the sounds of it from the scoreboard, it looks like maybe Columbia is closing in on a victory.
Yeah, that's what I was just checking. It was like, okay, for Kirtland, what will be and other teams throughout, what will be the next matchups?
Columbia, obviously, down in Columbia Station, southwest of Cleveland. Be a fun matchup, these two teams, if they get to that point.
Columbia Station, the 4th seed.
Yes.
The Kirtland in the past has faced Magador, but it looks like that may not be the case here this year.
And Columbia having a fantastic season, AA. Again, they've been ranked pretty much the entirety of the year. Another team that's got a lot of talent in Division 6.
We'll also check with you in just a little bit. CVC scores. Again, 5 teams in the playoffs.
Still playing as they fall down immediately. The AA special, get the ball, go down.
We've done what? 13, 14, we've done what, 15 games this year?
I lost track. We've been here for a while.
14 of those games, there's been some real activity on the kickoffs.
He's not wrong. I mean, it's been a thing. We've seen it a lot this season. How many onside kicks, how many balls recovered by the other team. And we're at a different stage of the game right now for Smithville, but you still got to be careful out there as the offense comes back in as we hit under 10 minutes to go in this ball game.
And they're still going to fight hard. You know, they're still going to fight hard to the end. And you got to this point.
Again, looking to pass, a little dump off. It's tipped, and it is. Did he get it?
Kyle, I think he did.
Oh, my goodness. An interception. Unbelievable. Runyon comes down with the football. Noah Runyon on the rush. Second interception of the day for Cannon, and that one just bad luck.
Just the ball, the placement. The tip.
Yeah, Kharkiv got back there, tipped that ball straight up, and Runyon came right down with it. Unbelievable. Wow.
Anytime that ball goes up in the air like that, you just never know. And, you know, defensive coaches always teach their kids, like, when you get that pressure, put those arms up.
Yep.
Anything can happen, anything can go down. And you see a perfect example right there.
And
just little things, because we haven't seen it that much at all this year. The tip balls at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, if you can't get to the quarterback with a quick release, yeah, put your hands up, make a play. It's going to be handed to Samick across. He gets torn down.
Wow, that was a great tackle.
Huge tackle right there from Smithville. And the tackler still on the floor there. You're trying to get picked up. That's big number 74 for Smithville, Dylan Creeder. He's come on and played some really good football this season. And Creeder, the junior, 6'2", 210 pounds. Able to gingerly get up.
He wants to stay out there. he wants to stay out there. Of course, the junior lineman, 6'2", 210 pounds.
Now we're seeing Haynes actually run onto the field now and actually check on him and walk with him off, and he may check in for a play. Haynes obviously, we know, handles a lot of the offensive duties, running back. We saw him throw a dart pass that was just a little bit overthrown, believe it or not, from the running back. But
well, how many players have we seen on both teams and the teams throughout? They both played great conferences, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, players go out for camp in one position, and then they're thriving in another position.
A couple different teams. Fairview's had a couple guys that have switched positions, and it's worked out well for them. Going to be a keeper is a new quarterback in the game. It's number 14, Mario Lorber, sophomore.
I think we have a whole new unit out there right now.
Oh, yeah. We saw Paul play a little bit there in this second half. But
yeah, before the injury, an entire unit was going to come out on the field for Kirtland.
Wow. So some of the younger squad, as you mentioned, AA, playing some tough JV schedule.
Yeah.
And getting some play in a playoff game here.
Yeah, this is a unit that played Avon twice.
It pitched through.
Coach Laverty has made it a huge point. Like, hey, we got to have these young guys ready to go, ready in this program. He makes it a point to load up the 9th and 10th grade schedules with these guys.
That was Sean Lowry, actually one of the seniors who got the carry there. One of the key backups.
And again, every player, whether you're a senior or a freshman, like you have a huge role in contributing with the program.
Sebastian Becker also in the game. Andy Ridgeway back there, one of the juniors. Ball is fumbled. It's picked up and brought down. That was a scary moment there for the squad there as Becker lost the football on the end around. And now we turnover on downs for Kirtland. A quick sequence, to say the least. And now the Smithies offense will come back onto the field. Under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. 39-0 is your score. You see on your screen Kirtland scoring 33 of those points in the second quarter. Craziness.
I want to share something real quick because I'm not sure if we're going to have another Kirtland football game before the end of the season. But if Kirtland makes it to the state semifinal, the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday, they have a breakfast, and it's just a team tradition. Actually, it's the Saturday because they play that Friday. So if they make the state championship, Coach Laverty and his wife, they invite the entire team over to their place, and it's a great community thing for the team. It's a bonding moment, and they have pancakes in the. It's great.
So AA, what you're saying is you want an invite.
Yeah, but then he's going to be like, you want to put on the pads? I'm like, no, I'm good.
I want to see that, but that's just me. Cannon in the shotgun, hands off. Right side, just know where to go. And that's 42 Ashton Raber who got the carry. And tough end of the season AA for Smithville. 8-3 this year. Talk about the conference they play in. Wayne County Conference, teams like Norwayne, teams like Dalton, who is the only in-kind opponent both these teams have faced. Now, of course, that was early in the season for Kirtland. They won that game. They scored 50-plus points in that game. And on the flip side, Smithville lost that game handily by nearly 40 points. So seeing the difference between these two teams here is it's a handoff. Oh, and a big truck through, lowering the shoulder and getting through. Ooh. An exclamation point on what's been a tough day. Ashton Raber lowered that shoulder and made one of the young defenders for Kirtland pay there.
First off, we hope the defender's okay. It looks like
goodness.
he is. Woo! Man.
Someone turned the hit stick on Madden right there and just lowered the shoulder and went through.
You know what, though? That's how you make it a pressure on film. That's always going to be on your tape. Every time you play, that's on your tape.
Senior Raber, of course, sharing duties with Mason Haynes this season. Hand off again. Raber working right side. He's going to get brought down. Big tackle in the backfield there. A little bit of a revenge from Mario Lorber, who got trucked the first time through, but this time makes the stop.
By the way, how about Mason Haynes, who had the big runs to start the game? He had that injury, and then immediately came right back into the ball game, and was still a major impact player. It didn't show up on the scoreboard ultimately, but the impact that he's had on this offense throughout the season, 1,000-yard rusher. He was close to getting 1,000 yards the previous 2 seasons. Finally got it this year. Incredible.
Cannon hands off again. Not much space for Raber to move there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
So I think one of the focus, too, we talk about Kirtland. Next week, especially, let's look at this.
Now, so we're seeing the initial list that started Trey Durston check into the game. Club and all, that left hand, you can see it. And he's going to check in at wide receiver. So not taking a snap as quarterback, but he's going to get an opportunity to play a snap.
This is cool.
And it's going to be a handoff to Raber, who breaks through. Raber turns the corner, upfield, down past the 40. So the senior getting some play, and the other senior, their starting quarterback, who went down with that injury, able to play a snap, and he's going to stay out there at the receiver position maybe. It looks like he's going back to the sideline gingerly, and we're going to keep him out, but
no, coaches like stay out there.
He's going to stay out there. There you go, yeah. So
that's cool.
That's cool to see for Trey Durston. His last snaps here is the quarterback.
Coach Olsen, Smith, cool dude. They play hard for this coaching staff.
They really do. Handoff, middle, Raber going to get brought down immediately. Solid tackle back there. In on that was Andy Ridgway.
And by the way, his story, Coach Olsen, his story is very interesting too. He knows Smithville better than anybody. Of course, graduating from this program, from the high school back in 2003, he knows all about the Wayne County Athletic Conference. He was telling you about how basically this has been the same teams that's been in the conference, all these years. I mean, it's just somebody who understands the community and the football program. And the conference, by the way, just celebrated 70 years of existence.
Got to get this playoff as the play clock rolls down, and a timeout going to be taken by Smithville with 1:55 to go. Hey, one more time, the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. And as always, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and us here at CVC TV. An eventful day for the Kirtland Hornets as they're going to advance.
By the way, Perry,
next round.
I'm sorry, Perry is still up only 3-0.
Wow, tight game. Just a few clicks north of us. Of Perry.
Of course, the winner of that game, I believe, is trending. The Streetsboro awaits the winner of that game.
Tough matchup for the now Division IV laden Perry Pirates.
And of course, remember this week, this is the last week of the higher seed hosting playoff game. Starting next week, everyone hits the road to a neutral site.
Right.
Next week.
Remember, Perry's only loss, we covered it this year, it was a triple overtime loss to this team, Kirtland, 22-21. What a crazy year for the Pirates, and obviously Kirtland too has been able to roll off all these wins.
And Kirtland's last loss was against Perry on this field last year.
That's right. It's been a long time for the Hornets. New quarterback in the game is a handoff for Smithville. That's now number 2. A.J. Anderson, who plays some receiver. See Mason Leach in there as well. Some other players getting some play for Smithville. And talk about a lot of the key players on this team AA. We saw, obviously, Brock Cannon. We know Mason Haynes, juniors. So a chance to build off this season and try and come back next year and really compete in a tough Wayne County conference.
It would not shock me if we get this matchup again next year, because of how loaded they are.
Anderson keeps it on the right side. He gets taken down after a gain of a few. As we're under a minute to go in the ball game. And yeah, you mentioned it, Double A. First time we've seen these two teams play each other in the playoffs in this atmosphere. And I'd imagine, for Coach Olson and company, definitely a learning experience when you play Kirtland, period. If
you took away the second quarter, Kirtland won this game 6-0. I mean, and that's the testament to how when things roll, it rolls.
Smithville taking a timeout because the senior quarterback who has the club on his left hand limping off the field, Trey Durston, getting a standing ovation. It's been a tough year for that young man, but able to get off the field under his own power, possibly for the last time. And as a senior and as the leader of this team, one of the leaders of this team, obviously you feel for the young man and wish him the best, obviously, moving forward. But happy to see him get at least a few plays and a few reps out there today. Circumstances obviously not the best, but still.
Class act by the whole coaching staff, the fans here, of course, too, to be that leader. And when you are that leader, it's painful when you don't get the opportunity to finish with your team. But the young man stuck with it. He was engaged on the sidelines with his teammates, and the opportunity to get those last snaps as a senior.
Also in Isaiah Beery plays more the defensive end. He's on the right hip of Anderson. And Smithville most likely get at least one more playoff here. Letting the clock roll down.
Safeties better be careful trying to.
Anderson just going to keep it himself. He'll get taken down at the 35-yard line, and that should do it. And it will as they let the clock run out. Kirtland, another shutout win, 39-0. The Hornets advance now 12-0 overall in the season. Double A, your thoughts on the game, Kirtland? That second quarter, obviously, the big selling point.
Yeah, the second quarter, you see the in-game adjustments Kirtland was able to make. You're going to talk about the player of the game in just a moment. I'll let you handle the player of the game. But overall, with Kirtland, what they're able to do offensively, defensively, and what they could do to you mentally. It's really, really, really amazing. Now, I will tell you that Coach Laverty, probably tomorrow morning, they're going to probably say, we're going to work on getting a better start in the first quarter. We're going to work on getting a little bit of a better start at the third quarter. Because, again, this is the second season for them. But overall for Kirtland, big-time performance. And real quick on Smithville, they came out hard. They had all the momentum, as we talked about, heading into the end of the first quarter. But it was just one play, and it slipped. And before you know it, they were down 24-0, and then they were down 33-0 at halftime, and that was pretty much it.
Was John Silvestro will be our CVC TV player of the game this week. Couple of rushing touchdowns, had 3 two-point conversions, some big stops on defense, and did a little bit of everything for Kirtland tonight.
And he did a great job on those touchdowns. His cutback ability,
oh my goodness,
amazing. You'll see if you go back and rewatch this game, his hips, the way he's able to make those smooth cuts, his lines, set it up, they block really well. He did a great job. Everybody who touched the ball offensively in that backfield did a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal job as the final score again, 39-0. Kirtland gets the win right here on CVC TV. One thing, our presenting sponsors, of course, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Also, our other sponsors for tonight's Alpha Animal Removal, as well as a few others. Taz Tree Service, Sewer Cleaning Company, RNC Fence, Air Quality Control, Heating and Cooling LLC, Greenie Sports Cards, Woodlake Realty, Hobby Motorsports, and the Ohio Media School. Back next week. Stay posted on social media and, of course, our website, ChagrinValleyConference.com, to see where we go next as playoff football continues here on CVC TV. For Double A Anthony Alford, I'm Kyle Cornell. Good night from Kirtland.